What's up, guys? Today is March 9th, and it's around 9 p.m. here in California. And there's some things that I noticed when looking at the charts tonight. And so I think this video will still be kind of relevant going into tomorrow and maybe even, well, tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, this is just going to be like an end of the week kind of video. And I'm only going to be covering GDX and GDXJ and gold miners in general. So not my usual in-depth market analysis. But anyway. So, whatever you guys think is the reason why we've been selling off ever since, what is this, late February, I think all of that will be resolved going into next week. And so, the main story that has been going on is that this is based on rate hike expectations. And so, the market is kind of bracing itself. But history does repeat itself. We had a rate hike decision here. We had a rate hike decision around here. And so, both these led to some pretty strong rallies. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So some people might think that's the reason miners have been selling off. Some people might think the negative divergence between gold miners and gold was the reason why we have been selling off. Or bulls just got exhausted. Whatever the reason may be. I think technicals are setting up a pretty good story here for miners. It looks like we're due for a bounce. So I'm looking at a daily chart here at GDX. And each day ever since March 2nd, we've seen less volume on this sell-off, even though we've been getting lower lows. So we've been selling off, but the volume has been decreasing. And so we're going to get a big spike in volume. And price action may go in either direction, but I'm expecting a big spike in volume going into next week. And Friday usually isn't a good day for miners, honestly. So I'm expecting us to be maybe 2 to 3% down again. Well, at least JNUG and NUGT will be around 2 to 3% down. We'll see how right this prediction is. But anyway, so we are coming up on oversold on the daily. And so excluding this period here, we sort of have seen some pretty good bounces when we do get oversold on the daily. And I think being oversold at this point is different than being oversold at this point. And there's no way that I can actually confirm that, but I think this is being oversold on an uptrend rather than being oversold on a downtrend, which just leads to some sort of method of cooling off the technicals with the sort of like a shallow trend line before breaking the lows. And that's sort of what I'm getting at. I don't think we're going to get this kind of bounce. I think we're going to get this kind of bounce. And so we're oversold on the daily. We're oversold on the 4-hour. And we've been oversold on the 4-hour for quite some time now. Or just hanging around 30. We're coming up on a bullish MACD cross on the 4-hour chart, which could lead to some potential upside. The last time that happened and we were oversold at the same time, we got a pretty significant bounce. That's pretty much what started this entire rally. And if we take a look at the volume on the 4-hour chart, the bullish volume has been higher than the bearish volume ever since early March. And this is all coming on decreasing volume despite sort of trending lower. So I think the bears are exhausting themselves, and I'm looking for a bounce heading into next week, or at least with the rate hike decision. Miners continue to be above the major moving averages, and you guys know my favorite moving average is the 100-week moving average on the weekly. So we're actually coming up on the 100-week moving average, so this would be a prime time to bounce. And so the reason why I love the 100-week moving average is because of how good of a signal it is. And so once we broke it, we held support, and now it looks like we're going to be holding support again, despite almost coming up on the bearish MACD cross. So I think next week miners are primed for a bounce, and now would be a pretty good risk to reward play. The risk obviously would be if we break this 100-week moving average, then I can consider this bull market dead. or close to dead if we do break this line. But yeah, this is just a play that I'm seeing, and you guys can do whatever you want. Obviously, it's your money, but just a couple of predictions to on your way. So hope you have a nice day.